Good evening and salutations, my soap opera fans. So, question of the night. What do fans like or dislike, or both, about Phyllis Summers on The Young and the Restless? Now, I can tell you right now, I think that chick is seriously annoying. There's a lot of people that like her. People have been watching the show for years. They love her character and everything like that. This chick is honestly just one giant pain in the ass. I wish I actually did a review on it. I don't know if I should. Maybe I'll watch the episode again. I feel like I might want to do a review on it, but it depends on how long the stream is, and if I'm not talked out and stuff. But yes, let me know in the comment section below. And we got a new person's eyes only. What's good, eyes only? Thank you for joining tonight. We got a new person up in the chat. How you doing tonight? Laura B is in the chat. Laura B says, I just started watching, so I don't know her character well enough to comment. That's fair enough. Well, I mean, Laura B, you started watching. So, okay, what is your initial thoughts of her so far since you just started watching? Because I think it's actually pretty cool to have a fresh perspective on the character as well. So, let me know what your thoughts are. Jeremy's in the chat. What's good, Jeremy? Hey, we actually got a new person up in the chat. See, this is what Blackmon is in the chat. What's good, Blackmon? I'm doing pretty well. How are you doing? Thank you for joining. Joy is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Monique is in the chat. Monique says, hey, everyone, I like and dislike Phyllis. I like the fact that she doesn't take crap from anyone and she doesn't back down from doubt. My dislike is that she doesn't think before she acts. Kind of like Carly, actually. Shauna's in the chat. What's good, Shauna? Darby's in the chat. What's good, Darby? I'm glad you're doing good, Blackmon. How was your birthday yesterday? I want to know how was your birthday? So, if anyone is wondering what's in the cup, it's actually just this. I did want to slow down a little bit on the drinking. So, yeah. Last day, how you doing? Last day, last day. I don't watch YNR that much. I just find them both annoying. You mean YNR and BNB? I'm assuming. Okay, so Laura B, what is your initial thoughts of the character so far? Then Black Mom says it was good. Still enjoying it. Good, good. I like that. Eyes only says I don't like Phyllis. Why you don't like Phyllis? Very curious about your answer. Shauna says Spencer do too much and Ava needs to have some receipts. Shauna, Ava, and what's worse is that Esme doesn't even have. Oh, you're right, Cheyenne. How you doing tonight? Ava doesn't even have the excuse of having amnesia. She just did what she did with Morgan because she did it. Angela is in the chat. What's good, Angela? Angela says, I love Phyllis. If we can't have Drew back, then I'm more than happy. And Phyllis boy back in the day, those stuck in the elevator scenes with Drew and Phyllis were legendary. Gwen is in the chat. Eyes only says she's unsettling. Jay Blue's in the chat. What's good, Jay Blue? Laura B says she seems focused on Diane and she is willing to do anything to achieve it. That's very true. Laura B, I want to sit there and ask you, okay, because here's the thing, I haven't really been watching the show that long either. I really haven't. So it's always nice to sit there. I'm still kind of fresh to the game when it comes towards that. Jay Blue says watching today's GH. Okay. DC. Let's everyone say what's up to DC. DC says I have to admit for a 50th anniversary and all those supposed old faces, the biggest highlights is Phyllis going to the hospital. Very, very lackluster. Let's everyone say what's up to DC. Linux says Malcolm is coming back to Lion Army. Is that Malcolm or is that Hellstorm or Hellstrom or whatever his name is? As only says yes, that is Phyllis seems obsessed. Yeah. Last day says GH was born, so it did seem like a filler. It did seem like a filler. Shauna says Phyllis got performer if the week well deserved. Freddie's in the chat. How you been, Freddie? It's good to see you again. Angela says that don't like Phyllis like people like Diane is that's boring and dull. Paul and Christina. Well, that's one take on it, Angela. For me personally, I find the character to be pretty annoying, honestly. But to each his own, I suppose. DC says I'm officially becoming Team Asthma because Spencer is just too disrespectful for me. I'm glad you're doing good, Freddie. It's always great to have you in the chat. AJ's in the chat. What's good, AJ? Thank you for joining. I hope people did get to see the my member shout out this month. I literally looked down. AJ says I'm still Team Spencer. I literally looked down at the list to make sure that I got every person's name on here. Shanna says Victor's gonna try to kill Asma. Yep. You know the thing is, I've seen other creators that have put like their Patreons. Makai was good, Makai. I've seen other people that put like their Patreons, like the people that subscribe to their Patreons, like um on a list or whatever, and they don't bother to sit there and read them out. And I feel like it's very impersonal. And that's why I want to sit there and make sure I took time to write each person's name on there to make sure I had everyone's name on there. Bridget, what is good, Bridget? See, hitting that like button really does help. No, it really does help. So yeah, if you're enjoying the stream, hit the like button. 17 people in the chat. I know. It gets super annoying, but it really does work. AJ says Asma is still trash. You hear that, DC? For a moment, I thought you were reading off a list of everyone subscribed to your channel. DC, I would have been there much longer. Actually, tell you the truth, the way that this list is going, um, for the members, is going to get just as long. As only says Tina made Phyllis a different character than Michelle Stanford. Hmm. Shan says that's a sick bolt of lightning. Oh yeah. It's the Flash. Thank you, Cheyenne. Morbius, I didn't see the shout out yet, but I will. Okay. Yeah, DC. I remember. Well, actually, tell you the truth, I think it was a couple of days ago. I do remember that. It wasn't really a lot of backstory, and if you were just watching, you had no idea who these people were. As only says, well, if Ava doesn't like Esme, I don't trust her either. You know, the thing is, I mean, I get that eyes only, but my whole thing is not that long ago. Um, Ava was in that same position with Morgan and the switching of the bills. So, Angela says, I missed the fight, Vulcan and Sharon. What? Oh, I gotta try to look that up, Angela. Gwen says, I can tell you I can't deal with Spencer. He honestly think his uncle is looking out for him. Spencer is very green when it comes to the Castle way. They backstab each other. Yep, no, I trust me, AJ. We all get it. You don't like us, man. Um, I mean, to be fair, when she first came into town, I wasn't a fan of her either. But you know, DC says like I still don't know who Leanne. Oh, Leanne Love is on why, and I feel Google will do a better job of telling me than the writers. Yeah. Shauna says Carly spoke facts to Nina about Sonya's life. Yes, Shauna. Yes. she did. I mean, granted, that whole scene, they both look like a pair of jackasses. Carly overreacting and acting like, she didn't need to sit there and try to run everything. But she did sit there and she was speaking facts about Sonny and his life. Monique says Carly did have a point about Nina and Sonny's relationship. Exactly. And Nina being all like, oh well, um, our relationship works for us. I was like, nah, bro. Your relationship, you think you're late. She is living in a fantasy land. Actually, I gotta sit there and credit Jess for this. Really do like this. I wish it was a little bit more spicy, but hmm. Reddy says Victor doesn't give a damn about Spencer. He just using Spencer. Yep, that's very true. Daisy says, "Do you put hot sauce in your noodles?" Yeah, I got it right here. Bridget said, "Did you like the Memorial episode?" I did, Bridget. I mean, it was sad. Okay, maybe it's kind of spicy. It was sad, so I can't sit there and say really liked the episode. Um, it was a different kind of episode. Okay, I need some more. But Bridget, did you like the episode though? I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of dreading the episode if we're gonna be honest. Hmm. Oh, such a bad idea. Now Cheyenne says you could add some. Is that a type of I'm assuming that's some sort of type of hot sauce, right? Or like pepper. That's some type of pepper, right? Sherry, Shira. Oh, okay. Yeah, Bridget. That's exactly why I was dredging it because I just it's hard to sit there and say if I liked the episode. I mean, they did a good job as far as the tribute was concerned. I'm glad you're here, Shireen. I'm so glad you're here, Shireen. Thank you for joining us tonight. Did you see the You saw the shout out, right? Hope you saw the shout out episode. Just just got home from work. Okay, Shireen. Well, it was good seeing you. I hope I get to see you this weekend. And thank you for joining us. Freddie of Gwen says I want Esmond to be okay with Ace, and Spencer doesn't even know if that's Nick's baby. Personally, as of today, I had checked out of the whole Ice Princess storyline. I remember the first. Yeah, Gwen, you've been watching it for a hot minute. Nah, I doubt it. I doubt it. Eyes only. But yeah, no, thank you for joining us, Shuri. Thompson Smith is in the chat. See? And the like button does help. I read that Phyllis has narcissistic personality disorder. Likewise, Shuri, likewise. It's always a blessing to see you, so thank you. And thank you for joining us, Thomas Smith. Shuri says, "Are you enjoying vacation?" Look, well, thank you, Shuri. I am enjoying it. I am. It's in some ways it's going to be kind of hard to go back to work. In other ways, it won't be. Like I like the routine. Like I said, when I wake up in the morning and stuff like that, and before I go to work and stuff, I'll go to Starbucks and stuff like that. So I miss my routine, but I enjoy being off and just doing this. So all in all, I definitely did enjoy my vacation. Gwen says, "I am just going to watch your updates out when it comes to GH." Okay. Well, Gwen, I love doing them. So DC says Starbucks hazel or French vanilla coffee. I don't really do coffee. I do lattes, which is kind of like coffee. I never actually tried French vanilla coffee, DC, but I usually get I've had tried hazelnut though. A hazelnut latte and cinnamon dolce latte. Those are my two drinks. Well, always get the cinnamon dolce. Lastly, what reviews do you have up? I have my Bona Beautiful and General Hospital. I got that up. DC says, "What is the difference between coffee and lattes?" That's actually a good question. Does anyone actually know the difference between coffee and latte? Because I'm not a coffee person, but I'm a latte person. Is there a difference? Mr. Bear's in the chat. Mr. Bear says, "Good evening, everyone. B and B had a great cliffhanger." Yeah, Shannon, I was like, so you gonna lose your license over Sheila? I was shocked. I was shocked. And was like, we got to do something. Now Monique says, I would get vanilla bean. Yeah, I want to know in the chat if you're a coffee drinker and if you're a latte person, what's the difference between coffee and latte? I mean, a coffee and latte. Thomas says, doesn't latte have espresso or steamed milk? It does. I know that much. I know it does have espresso and steamed milk. I've always watched them do it, so yes. Look that up. And I'm not gonna lie, listen, if there's one thing I actually do miss going back to work is missing Starbucks. Bridget said I like Frappuccino from Starbucks. Yeah, I don't think I've had. Yeah, actually, have had it. It's actually pretty good. Sean says Spencer was a jerk, left Esme and Ace at the hospital stranded. DC says I drink hazel coffee 3 days a week. I literally wouldn't be able to get through my workouts without them. Blackmon says coffee lover. Okay. Mr. Bear says I like espressos. Thomas says I love everything with coffee. The whole gamut. Yeah, I want to know. I want to know the difference between those two. I used to go to Starbucks. I mean, I used to go to Dunkin' Donuts, but Dunkin' Donuts is just like what, Cheyenne? Yeah, I'm like, I have no idea. What the hell are you talking about, Cheyenne? It'd be really nice if you would just not just say random stuff like that. Like, the hell is? I'm like, Cheyenne, please don't start off with the randomness stuff. Sherry says I don't drink coffee or soda really. I'm a hyper. I want to read this. Sherry says I don't drink coffee or soda really. I'm a hyper type of person, but when I was a barista, when I recall, is latte have milk or whatever milk substitute you like? Coffee can be black. Okay. Tracy Stevens is in the chat. Was good, Tracy. Thank you for joining us. Now DC's from Haiti, but was born in Connecticut. But born and raised on the play. I love it, DC. I love it. I love it, DC. Okay, well, thank you for answering that, Sheree, because I was very curious about that. No, it's actually gonna be kind of weird. That's something else. When I do go back to work, it's gonna be weird going back to Starbucks because I'm usually there like every day. Um, and they're probably gonna be like, "Yo, where have you been at?" You know, because every time I go there, they already know what I'm gonna get. Because I always get the same thing. Freddie says, "I won't believe that Nicholas baby and Spencer baby brother into a DNA test. It could be anybody's baby. She could been messing with. Oh wow, plenty of men off screen." Bridget says, "I like coffee. I like coffee, ice cream." Hmm. Joshua's in the chat. What's good, Joshua? How have you been? What do you think of YNR so far? I want to know. I want to know your take on it. What is your take on it so far? How have you been, Joshua? Joshua says, "I'm shocked that Phyllis and Stark got married mainly because of Diane." You know, I'm surprised about. I'm so like, how do you sit there and have an interrogation, not at the police station, but in front of everybody else? No lawyer, no nothing. Just this guy sitting there grilling you in a room full of people. I just, I felt that to be really laughable. And then it was just like, oh, the ambulance, it crashed, and all this stuff happening off screen. It's so. Now DC says, "Well, Chance is mad unprofessional." Yeah, that's one word for it. It is definitely one word for it. Bridget says Phyllis is not dead. Of course, she's not dead. Phyllis is not dead. Shauna says, "Where Kate? Where's Kate at? Why not take Kayla to Greece?" Joshua, oh, sure, you love Phyllis. Okay. Bobby says, "Why does Phyllis hate Diane so much?" I mean, I know they went at each other in the past and stuff like that. I feel like it's because of their past. Now Joshua says Phyllis would never marry Stark in a million years. I know Jack and Phyllis might not get along, but deep down, they still love each other. Sheree, why do you like Phyllis for? I'm still new to the whole game, so I want to know your thoughts. Sheree says I thought Chance was gone. I thought he was too. Somebody in the chat actually said that he was coming back for a couple of days, so I was just as surprised as you was. Okay, sure, okay. Dave is in the chat. What's good, Dave? Thank you for joining us. I know General City has no psychotherapist because Phyllis needs one. Or psychiatrist. Well, no, isn't Sharon a psychologist or psychiatrist? Okay, so just in the middle. Okay. Now Sharice says I haven't caught up on Jade yet. Well, when you do, let me know. I want to know what your thoughts are. And DC says Sharon is a coffee shop. She's still a therapist, though. Dave, I think she's just going through the motions of just being sick. That's all. And of course, Carly had to come in there and overreact. Carly came in there, overreacted. Jay Blue says, John, I can't believe in the poll today. I'm still, oh, okay. I can't participate in it. Makai says, where Paul at? He was mentioned at the bar about being retired now off screen. You know, Makai, I think if the actor said he didn't want to come back, from what I understood. The actor didn't want to come back. He said that Y&R treated him like crap. So he was like, why should I come back? Yeah, AJ, I mean, Carly was being over the top, so I give you that. But Nina, on the other hand, she does not, Carly was 100% right um, as far as describing Nina and her relationship with Sonny. So in a lot of ways, they pretty much kind of both look like a pair of jackasses, to be honest. Jay Blue says, "Is that what's up? I feel like a miss section. I feel like a miss a section after they show Carly asking Nina, what did she do?" You're absolutely right, Jay Blue. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of glad you're not the only person because like it just came in there and that's just what happened. So you are 100% right. I'm glad I'm not the only person that didn't feel like that. It just said Carly was being a hypocrite. How was Carly being a hypocrite on that? I mean, let's be honest. Nina, not that long ago, was complaining to Phyllis about Sonny's dangerous life. And that's literally what Carly was Smith is saying. If you want to be in Sonny's life, you need to know the good, the bad, and the ugly. All this other time was her fault. AJ says she's giving Nina this talk, but she did the same thing with Sonny a while back. Yeah, no, Jay Blue. No, he wasn't just you. Hmm. Let's just be honest. Let's just be honest, AJ. Carly was right. Carly was right. There's no getting around that part. I will sit there and say that they both look like a pair of jackasses, but Carly was 100% right. Um, about that whole, about talking to Nina about that whole thing. Yeah, no, she did, AJ. But here's the thing: at the end of the day, regardless of how Carly was with their acting, keeping her kids away, and things of that nature, the bottom line was Carly was right. That's the thing. We could sit there and say was Carly being a hypocrite or not, but everything that Carly said was right about Nina. Yeah, AJ, but at the end of the day, she was still right though. You know, being a hypocrite or not, she was still right. Now, Bridget said, I think Lucy is going to get kidnapped again. She is, and I'm gonna laugh when she does. I'm gonna literally laugh my ass off when she does. So, but he says Carly and Nina WWE. Yeah, yeah, Monique, that's very true. But then she still stayed with him, and then Morgan died, and then she still stayed with him. You know, Jess is in the chat. What's good, Jess? How have you been doing tonight, Jessica? But she was the wrong messenger. Um, I can't. I'm not gonna lie. I can't wait till they give when they give Liz the key to the city. I think yeah, that's what I feel like it's gonna end up happening. They're gonna end up getting Liz the key to the city at this point. I still think that she should have got some sort of consequences though. I stand by that. Let's see. Hmm, I'm gonna leave it up for like 10 minutes and then she says, I must admit, so far both Y and RGs have been done a poor job on their anniversary years. Is anyone actually excited for the nurses ball? Very curious about that. Shona says she always went back to Sunny because she loved him, but she had to expect Sunny's life. It just said Carly was definitely in the wrong today, and she was the wrong person to tell Nina about Sunny's life. Wow, okay. Nina is aware of Sunny's business. And she clearly was not aware of Sunny's business, and she had to sit there and start complaining to Phyllis about it. So Nikisha was good. Nikisha, we still bashing Liz for getting given. uh, Tracy says yes. Okay, good. Karen's in the chat. Karen says Ace is not casting on. Esme is playing everyone. Yes, time will tell. Sherry says I like nurses ball. Okay, cool. Darby says her biggest supporter just died. That's the worst punishment she could have gotten. Eyes only says I'm never excited for nurses ball at all. Same. I know some people like it, and that's cool. Um, I'm looking forward to fast forward through most of them. AJ, I think she was talking about me because my comment about giving Liz the key to the city. Joey says I keep saying the need to do a DNA test. I need on Ace. We only have Esme's word. I'm surprised they actually didn't do a DNA test. They just took her for a word. He said today was the first time Esme said she wanted to make up for the harm she caused. I wonder if she's sincere. I doubt it. Monique says Nina has been with Valentine, so in her mind she can accept Sunny. Exactly. And honestly, tell you the truth, that would be Nina's thinking too. Oh, I know, Nikisha, I know. I mean, here's the thing. It wasn't the worst thing. It wasn't like it was the worst thing that she's ever done. You know, like Liz has done far worse than that. Darby says you're critical, Albert. You support. And Darby says you're a critic, Albert. You're supposed to watch the bad shows so you don't like. So I won't. You don't like, so I won't have to. I feel like I heard that somewhere before, but thank you, Darby. I did actually hear that from somewhere too, Darby. Ariana, how you doing tonight? I mean, Ariana, how you doing tonight? I did mispronounce your name in the shout out. I'm so sorry. You know what it is? I was looking at the H, so I put Hannah instead of looking at the R part, but I didn't forget your name. I literally looked at that list to make sure I did not forget. did not forget anybody's name. Karen says Carly and Nina need to fight it out. Kristen, Alexis 2.0. Thank you, Darby. Thank you. I appreciate that. Sheree says, what's a shout out? Every month, for members, I do a member shout out. And I will literally sit there and read each person's name in a shout out as a thank you for being members. I know that some people will just have a list. They won't sit there. I feel like just writing, like saying it, is a lot more personal, than just like having it as a list or whatever, like is closing credits. DC says, anyway, boss, taking a prize and company, I have to go. Have a good night, DC. Thank you for joining. Let me know how that paper is, because I'm still want to know what that paper is. Sharon says, does Albert use Chat GPT? Chat GPT. I have no idea what that is. That is very true, Ariana. And 20 likes. So if you are enjoying the stream, hit the like button. Of course, Blackman, of course. I I'm grateful. I'm grateful that you're part of the members and stuff like that. So thank you. Ariana says you remember me in the channel. Of course. How could I not? How could I not, Ariana? I mean Ariana. Juanita's in the chat. Shannon's in the chat. Eyes only says chat got I don't understand. Thank you, Sheree. Thank you. Yeah, no, I always listen, I'm always gonna be grateful for the people that support me. When he says, however, what does GH have against DNA that could solve some drama? Yeah. I'm surprised he didn't actually do that though. I seriously am. He says, I don't know who was more psycho, Ryan or Victor. Definitely Ryan. Definitely Ryan. As only says Chat GPT. Yeah, I have no idea what that is. How you doing tonight, Shannon? And thank you for joining, Juanita. Toby says Esme should have little Ace close to her like a bulletproof vest because it will save her life, especially if Victor's around. Yeah, Sheree, I would definitely sit there and say Ryan. Brady says Ava and Austin, the clock is ticking, you better do something. Yeah, like get Sonny involved. Karen says, does anyone know the name of the actor who plays Victor Henchman? He looks familiar. In today's episode, I can well, probably look and tell you tomorrow, but I feel like that would be too late. Yeah, Freddie, I was gonna sit there and say that too. I was like, it's definitely Ryan. Oh, and Jess, if you're still in the chat, thank you for the recommendation of this type of soup or noodles. Lord B says, if I don't say so already, I'll vote Ryan. Yeah. Yeah, me too. Shauna says, I don't like Valentine being weak. He was ruthless. Yeah, and now they're screwed. Now they are screwed. And of course, and the thing is, Lucy's not helping it. Did anyone actually like her explanation on the reason why she goes so hard for these nurses balls? Linux had just gotten an alert for a severe thunderstorm in my area. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Monique. I hope everything is goes well for you tonight. As long as people like Valentine Eva have changed, is Beautiful character development. I'm not gonna lie. Part of me felt like I got so used to drinking in every stream that when I haven't been drinking, and it's just kind of weird. Maybe because I was just doing it almost in every stream, so it's like I kind of got to get used to not doing it. Jay Blue says money only one that saw Austin check eight Nicholas purse. I'm so confused. Wasn't Austin the one who took Nicholas? Oh, Jay Blue says money one that's for S. Austin checked Nicholas's pulse. I'm so confused. Wasn't Austin the one that took Nicholas' body to the stables? Yeah. And Sheree says no chairs. No chairs on your vacation. What do you mean no chairs on my vacation? Shannon says Lucy is extra too, don't care. And Ariana says Lucy is beyond annoying now. Laura B says I didn't like Lucy explanation and I like Lucy. Yeah, it didn't really sound like it made a lot of sense. I was just like, oh, no drinking. Oh, well, yeah. I want to slow down a little bit on it, Sheree, just because I was doing it so much and almost like every stream. You know. Have a good night, AJ. Thank you for joining. It's always a pleasure to see you in the chat. Hope you have a great night, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Well, the weekend one, so. Juanita says, I agree, had enough of Lucy. Yeah. Or B says, I thought she would have brung up connection to those who had. Yeah, Lorby, I mean, her explanation was people take me seriously one night a year. Like, what? And AJ said, I don't know about the weekend because of WrestleMania. Okay. All right, well, now I look forward to see you on Monday then, AJ. Hope you have a great weekend. Yeah, I mean, Lorby, it's something that was just heartfelt. Instead, it's because they take her seriously one night because of how people look at her. And I'm just like, okay, who cares how people look at you? It's how you look at yourself. Like, I'm sorry, but in all reality, that explanation made no sense. It's like, bro, just fess up. You're just extra and you're over the top and you're annoying. And that's why you're sitting there acting like that. Don't try to make it seem like it's some sort of empowerment thing. Because without the nurse's wallet, did you always go through life just sit there wondering and worrying about how people would sit there and look at you and like, oh, you're an airhead and this, that, and the third? I'm like, nah, dude, that don't track with me. That don't track with me. I think WrestleMania is this weekend now because I remember seeing it on Peacock. Exactly, Freddie. That's what I'm like, yo, let her do her damn job. Nobody says for Lucy, it makes sense. It's the one night time of the year people honestly want her opinion. Most of the time, people who don't want her around. Jay Blue says, are you talking about Lucy Albert? She's acting like a child. Yeah. But that's the thing, though, Darby. It shouldn't just be one night a year, you know? It shouldn't just be one night a year. Because I'm like, if I'm, I gotta agree to disagree with you on that, Darby, because I can't take that. I can't take that explanation. I understand the idea of it, but I just no. It may make sense in Lucy's head, but in reality, that's BS. Monique says, at this point, if Lucy gets kidnapped again, I would be so thrilled. Her stupidity is going to cause everyone involved. Yep, exactly. And I said that in my review too. Sean says so Deacons can get away scot free. Looks like it. Last day says, what is this empowerment woman all about? I'm so confused about it. Eyes only says, I just noticed her shaking down people for, for money once a year. Darby says that's that if you her with her thinking for her you that doesn't make sense. I mean, Darby, I understand that it makes sense. I'm just like, you know what it is, Darby? It's more sad than anything else. Is that how you see yourself? That people can only take you seriously one night a year. You know? It's like at that point then do better. You know? At that point then do better. If you really feel like that, then either do better or stop caring about what people think. But I get the idea behind it, Darby. It's you know what I'm saying? Like her nuance isn't lost on me from a psychological point. Freddie says at this point Lucy needs to be kidnapped because she's brought this all on herself. Jay Blue says, isn't Lucy a realtor and part owner deception? Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's like it's not like she doesn't make decisions and stuff like that. It's like if people see her one way, that's their loss. Barbie says what did Deacon do that was illegal? Well, he harbored a fugitive. When Sheila was on a run, Deacon took her in. And apparently Bill and Rich found out about it. So that's what he did that was illegal when Sheila was on the run. Elizabeth said writers make Lucy a total idiot. Elizabeth's in the chat. Jonathan's in the chat. What's good, Jonathan? And yeah, Elizabeth, she was written much better in Port Charles. You take this opportunity to make it all about you and not. Honestly, to tell you the truth, Monique, you literally said it best. Really? You're 100% right, and I think that's another thing that you know. Oh, reality, you said it best. Corby says, like I said, I only watched 3 days. Oh, okay. But yeah, no, that was it. Baker's a joke. Most of those people on the force was a joke. The fact that Sheila ran away from all of them and only Bill caught up to her. Mr. Bear said Lucy was hell in the 80s. Pretty sure she was. I'm pretty sure she was written a lot better in the 80s. Jocelyn says, what did you think about Carly being defensive towards Nina when it came to Willow? She was over the top, Jonathan. She was over the top. She was being a jackass. And it was unnecessary. And the thing is, she overreacted. And she knew she overreacted. But instead of actually apologizing, she just decided to act stubborn like an idiot. Bridget says, when are you guys gonna do it? Hopefully soon, Bridget. Hopefully soon. It was a lot to get us all four together, but we're gonna try to make it happen again soon. Barbie says most of the year is comedy time. It's time to get better writers for her in her head. She thinks she doesn't matter, even though with all she does, she got going for her business. Exactly, and that's why I said it was sad the way that she looks at herself. But no, Bridget, I it was great to sit there and do that. Um, it is also Bridget. It's just everyone's schedules is so different. So um, it's just trying to find that pocket of time where everyone can actually agree on doing it again. That makes it so difficult. Warby says, I agree, Carly overreacted, but fairness, Nina did cause stress before. No, she did. She did, Laura B. 100%. You're probably right on some level, Jonathan. You are. I just, in all reality, it's more. I feel like it's more about Maurice Bernard and what he wants. Because in reality, I feel like if he didn't want this change, we would still see Carly and Stunny together. Jay Blue says, "Oh, Jace was 50-50. I forgot to take down that ball. Interesting. 69% said yes, 30% said no. Now, I want to sit there and ask something else. That's true, Shauna. This question is for the Days of Our Lives fans. Was Days of Our Lives good? That's the question. Gemini's in the chat was good. Gemini was good. Thank you for joining us. Monique says someone in Lucy's previous life told her she wasn't good enough or important enough. So maybe that's why she is the way she is. Yeah, you're right. Either way, Monique, it's just sad. You stop to think about it. And I think that's why I partly said in my review as far as maybe she needs like therapy or something, you know? Because our reality, I sit there and I joke about Lucy, but Lucy is not a bad or a terrible character. She could be annoying and over the top, but now Shauna says I like Marlena back. Kayla called where's Kate? That is the $1 million question, Shauna. That is the $1 million question. Ariana says I don't remember Lucy being this thing you want to apologize. That was exactly Ariana. She wasn't. That's why I always sit there and say in a lot of these streams, her character was a lot better in Port Charles. Her character was a lot better in Port Charles. Yeah, she was quirky and stuff like that, but it wasn't over the top. It wasn't made to look like she was a joke, and that's the thing that's really sad. Is that the minute that they got her back on Port Charles, last day says days is a lot better now than it was in 2015. Barbie says she can't see Kevin since he's her ex-husband. Gemini to some extent, but she wasn't. She wasn't. Here's the thing: she was not. She was nowhere that bad when she was on that show called Port Charles. Barbie says Maxie is doing a wonderful job with Nurse Spa. I had to laugh when she was discussing Lucy for suggesting. Yeah, the one and only, the amazing Janet is in the chat. Was good, Janet? Yeah, Warren is definitely something else. I kind of want to do a review on it, but yeah, there's not a lot of. I feel like my hmm, I don't want to sit there and say it. I'm not even drunk this time, so I have no excuse. Ariana says, I agree. She was a vampire slayer, kind of a badass. Yeah, she was a much better character back then. And Tony, wow, and Kevin, of course. But I enjoyed my vacation, and in some ways, I kind of felt like I enjoyed it a little bit too much because there was a lot of times I want to sit there and try to do all four reviews, but I felt like because I was just so much in vacation mode, just waking up a little bit later and stuff like that, that things did not get done. So I apologize to everyone. As far as not doing some reviews like Y&R and Days and stuff like that, because I really want to try to do a four of them. Gemini says I was happy to see Ruth the Mad Rolf the Mad Scientist on GSA. He was on Days working for Stefano. Rolf? Gemini, I don't remember seeing Rolf on GH. Johnson says if the whole Pikeman storyline on GH leads to a Morgan return, it may bring Sonny and Carly together. That would be interesting. No, Gemini, this is that's just a theory. Darby says, think about Kevin getting her on a couch to talk about her life, relationship, daughter, and feelings. Yeah. Monique says, what did you do on your vacation? Mostly just relax, Monique. It was mostly relaxing, you know? I mean, granted, I had a lot of fun just sitting there chilling and not worrying about waking up too early for work and stuff like that. But I felt like because of that, it's like I barely woke up early enough to do some of the reviews I want to do. So it was kind of a give and take sort of thing. All in all, I had fun. Gemini says, yep, he was the man with the stick called. Really? Gemini? Okay, what was okay, Gemini, was that the first Dr. Rolf? Because that couldn't have been the second one. I'm gonna have to sit there and go back and watch it. Yeah, no, Jake Blue. I knew that was a spy too, but I didn't. Are you sure? Are you sure, Gemini? Wow. Okay. All right, then I will definitely have to go back and rewatch that because I missed that. Wow, that's crazy. I got Hulu, so I'm gonna just go back and watch it. I got to see that. Hopefully, I didn't. Hopefully, I didn't read because I think it still may be on my DVR though. All right, Gemini. I'm gonna check it. I'm gonna recheck it out again. Monique says I read rumors that Nina and Drew were supposed to have something going on, and are you still on vacation? Yeah, Monique, I'm still on vacation until Sunday. I'll go back Sunday. Uh, I don't know, Darby. The thing is, I've never gotten into those movies, and they look like they're good. But in all reality, I'm so backed up with stuff that I got to watch this week that I'm pretty sure I won't be able to have time to watch John Wick. I got The Mandalorian. I got Riverdale. I got Superman Lois. I got a million little things, and I feel like I'm missing some. Oh, and also The Flash. So yeah, I got a lot of stuff to catch up to this Saturday. Shannon says Xander helped employ with Leo. Shannon says, I know this is a little topic, but quick question. Does anyone here watch the Golden Girls? I'm pretty sure most people here probably watch the Golden Girls. Justice, I did. That's another show I got to sit there and watch at some point. Is Wolfpack. I do got to watch it at some point. Ariana says vacation is downtime for your body and your mind. It's about doing what you want when you want. Thank you for spending some of your vacation with us. Well, thank you, Ariana. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, yeah, no, you're definitely right. Um, well, here's the thing. I love spending my time with everyone here in general. I always sit there and say this is literally my favorite part of my day. Now, Eyes Only says, "What did you think about Smallville?" I liked it. Eyes Only, and I don't feel like it gets enough credit. You know, Like you look at stuff like the Arrowverse, and all reality, there would be no Arrowverse if it wasn't for Smallville. So I don't feel like it gets enough credit. Monique says I just watched the season finale of Wolfpack last night. Yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna watch it. Um, I gotta start doing something different on Saturday. Have a good night, Freddie. I gotta find a way to start staying up more on Saturdays instead of sleeping. Johnson says, interesting thing is Green Arrow was also featured on Smallville. Yeah, that's very true. And the Flash also. And the Flash as well. Jay Blue says true, only watched a little of Arrow. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I feel like even a lot of these comic book movies and stuff like that, they didn't start taking like I feel like Smallville took it well, they made people take comic book stuff seriously. Sean says, does anyone solve crime? I only said Smallville is just on my mind because I just bought the entire series. Nice. I don't. That was my show back in the day. I literally watched every single episode. Johnson says a small episode where Green Arrow debut was called Arrow. That is very true, Jonathan. It's funny too because like once you said it, I remember that episode like it was yesterday. That was such a great series. And like I said, I don't feel like it gets enough credit that it deserves. Like in reality, it shouldn't even be. I guess in some ways it should be called the Arrowverse, but they got to give credit to Smallville. Hell, even Michael Rosenberg said that. He said it jokingly, but I don't think he was actually joking about that. Jimmy now says, "Shoot, I watch many old shows like Golden Girls, Matlock, Perry Mason, Martin. Those shows were well written." Yeah, I watched each and every single one of those shows too. Justin says Rosenbaum. Okay, thank you. I know somebody else that's named Rosenthal, so I always get kind of confused. But yes, Rosenbaum. I love his podcast though, Jonathan. I'm not normally a podcast person, but his I would sit down and listen to. Yeah, yeah. I was just mentioning that eyes only. Monique says, has anyone seen the premiere of Gotham Knights that came out? I mean, Monique, from a lot of people listening, they're saying it's surprisingly good. Um, I'm still mad at Warner Brothers, so I refuse to watch it. But a lot of people listening, they're saying it's good though. Justin says, I like that he did the voice of Flash. A lot of Johnson, surprisingly, a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know. I found out like maybe years later on, but a lot of people don't know that. Oh, Monique, that was my show. That was my show. That was my show. That was my show. And it's funny too because I forgot the chick that. Oh, Mr. Bear. Yeah, no, that show was good. Surprisingly, it was good. On paper, it doesn't seem like it's a good show, but it's actually good. Jonathan, what's the name of that girl that's on there? And she was on another show. She had a bunch of tattoos. Lady Sif, I think that's what it's called. I love that chick. Yes, that was a great show. Yeah, Gemini, you remember? Let me. Okay, tell me if you remember what character that Jada played on Gotham. I know the answer, but yes, Eyes Only. I love that woman. I love that woman. That's the first part of it. Fishman, there you go. She was actually surprisingly good on that show. Someone says, I wish there was a channel that actually aired the good classic shows at times that I could see them instead of in the middle of the night. You know, the problem with stuff like that, Solomon, is that sometimes they do come out with stuff like that, but then enough people don't watch it, and then it gets canceled, or like the network gets canceled. Chances are like Buffy, Angel, Charm, Ghost Whisperer, Lucifer, Originals, and Supernatural. China, I am definitely with you on the Lucifer, Originals, and Supernatural. Thank you, Jonathan. Yeah, I love that actress. She was actually really good on that show, Kyle XY. But you know the person that produced it? I think she produced it, or she was a part of it. Julia Pleck. I think she was the producer of it or something. You know, I never got into to Charm. I tried to watch the new one, and I only got through one episode, and I practically want to literally scratch my eyes out. Gemini says the Hallmark Channel shows the classics in the night. Me TV. Yep, I know about Me TV. Oh, thank you, Jonathan. Yeah, but she was a producer. Okay. You know, it's kind of odd, Jonathan, because for the most part, most of the stuff that Julia Pleck does, I love. Like she has a way of just doing these very dramatic and like action-packed stuff. Except for when it came towards legacies and to the fourth season. When he says, "I still have the DVD of Comics Y, but can't watch them because I don't have a DVD player." That sucks. On a Yeah, like if you had like a PlayStation or an Xbox, then maybe. More beaches, I like the original I like the original Charm, original Angel. I never saw Charm, Lucifer, and the originals. Lord B, well, I feel like in some ways, I feel like you gotta kind of watch the Vampire Diaries to really truly enjoy the originals. But Lucifer, I think you would like. Johnson says, I wish they brought Comics White back so we could have a proper conclusion. You know, Jonathan, from what do you have the DVD of it? Yeah, you're right. It wasn't actually a proper conclusion. Never mind. It was somewhat of a conclusion, but it wasn't a proper one though. Nah, Solomon, but I also haven't really watched BET in a while though. I mean, that says I could loan you my DVD player. China says I love vampire pictures. As only says I can never find the originals or comics. Why? You know, it's actually pretty hard to find that stuff. Eyes only. Have a good night, Monique. Thank you for joining. Johnson said there was a big review at the end of college. Yeah, I remember that. But from when I heard, they said that like the DVD, like the box set had like an extra ending, but I never actually watched it though. Shauna said, "What was the movie?" Twilight. Shauna. And you know, it's really funny. People really crap on Twilight a lot. But I'll tell you this much though. If there was no Twilight, there would be no Wolf Pack. I'm gonna say that again. If there wasn't Twilight, there would be no Wolf Pack. I'm being dead serious. Johnson says it was the only interview. It was only an interview. Oh, okay. All right. Thank you, Jonathan. Jay Blue says I haven't seen any of the Twilight movies. I don't know if I can recommend it to you though. That's the problem because I mean Twilight isn't a it's not the worst movie, okay? But it's the dialogue is could be really bad at times. I can tell you that much. And I've seen all of them. Oh, actually, I've seen New Moon twice, not on purpose though. Exactly, Ariana. That's exactly what I said. I was like, listen, if it wasn't for Twilight, you would not be sitting there seeing the Wolf Pack, Team Wolf, or well, any of that stuff. It's true, Jay Bloom. It's true. Um, Even when I was in the movie theaters and I was watching, I was like, man, some of this dialogue is is kind of rough. It's kind of rough. I can't get into Harry Potter, Gemini. And honestly, to tell you the truth, the sad thing is that the Twilight movies don't actually start to get good into the second movie. Yeah, I don't. That's another thing I've never really got into is Lord of the Rings. Never, like the mystical and couldn't really get into it. And Johnson said, "Fun fact: the Vampire Diaries book were published before Twilight." Yeah, that is that's very true. I remember there was a huge debate about who copied who back in the day. Like they felt that the Vampire Diaries copied Twilight, which in some ways I can kind of see it. Jay Blue said I've seen all Harry Potter movies, but barely read the books. Somebody, when I was a kid, somebody actually gave me the book, and I was just like, I don't know, like the magic stuff, the wands and stuff. It didn't work for me. Yeah, Gwen, I think I only saw one. I saw one Harry Potter movie, and it wasn't even the first one, and it wasn't even really that good. But to be fair, I think I saw like the fifth one. Jay Blue said I saw all the Lord of the Rings movie in one day. Wow. Jay Blue, I think the only time I actually did a movie marathon like that was with the Back to the Future series. Like I literally, I think I probably stopped. It was like from 1 o'clock to like 9 o'clock. Gemini says, okay. Gwen says I've never seen Avatar at all. Yeah, me either. Me either. I've never seen it before either. I know a lot of people like it and they talk about how great it is and stuff like that. It's just I've never seen it. But I would sit there and say this much, Gwen. Don't ever watch the movie. Ariana said I had a date that took me to see Lord of the Rings. First and last date. Damn. Well, I mean, his biggest problem was taking you to the movies. That was the problem right there, Ariana. Gemini said I was mad when I saw Avatar was blue people because I watched. Oh, never mind. That's a different thing. That's Gwen says which day is good today because I'm not watching GH. Um, it was okay. It wasn't super great, Gwen, to be honest. You didn't really miss anything. You didn't really miss anything, Gwen. Well, Eric and Eric and Bella got to see Marlena. So that was a nice little scene. But other than that, you didn't miss anything. I mean, seriously, Ariana, that was his mistake. Not even the movie that he took you to. The fact that he took you to the movies at all. Now, if it was a second date, he should have probably took you to go see something Marvel, because you would have enjoyed that. Blue says my favorite color is blue. That's what piqued my curiosity about Avatar. Yeah, Gwen, you didn't really miss anything. You didn't. And it was really odd. It's Friday. I just thought about that. It wasn't even like a good clip. I don't even remember it actually being a good cliffhanger. Yeah, think about it. I had to sit there and think about what day it was. Oh, okay, that hot sauce is. Janice says I like DCGH review today. Oh, he did a review today. Nice. Of course, eyes only. If it's Marvel live action, if I haven't, well, all the movies I've seen. Um, as far as the shows, I still have to finish watching Miss Marvel and She-Hulk. But every other Marvel show I've watched. Johnson says there was a short live action werewolf series back in the early 2000 called Wolf Lake. Wolf Lake? Oh, I gotta look into that, Jonathan. Damn, Jonathan, nice. Thank you. I'm gonna sit there and look into that. But yeah, eyes only. When it comes, let's put it this way: when it comes to its live action, if it's Marvel, I'm watching it. Okay, I would not care if it was my last dollar. I will watch it like there's no tomorrow. It was Gemini. Darby says I didn't watch B&B today. Class. You know what? Actually, tell you the truth, Darby, I think you should watch it. I think you should actually watch it. As long as well, stay away from spoilers because this Marvel has a secret. Have a good night, Solomon. Thank you for joining. But yeah, as only yeah, I mean everything else I saw. Yeah, no, I saw well, as only you talking to me or somebody else? Because I have a feeling like that message was not for me. Valerie's in the chat. What's good, Valerie? Have a good night, Solomon. It was good seeing you. Well, eyes only. Why would I need to stay away from it as far as spoilers is concerned? All beaches I remember Lou Don Phillip was more than you know, I'm a big Marvel fan, so I'm apparently my tomboy days and enjoyed a good Marvel everything. But, you know, Gemini, I feel like the Marvel shows is pretty much for everyone. Like to be fair, I do feel like Miss Marvel is kind of more girl centric, but as long as most of my friends hate spoilers. Oh, well, I mean, I've seen like every other Marvel show I've seen, also the movies. So yeah, I mean, I've seen the movies. I've seen every movie to date. So yeah, I'm not, I'm not actually going to get spoiled by anything. Darby says, but I will watch Cheese later and Bold and the Beautiful on Saturday. Gemini said, I appreciate my husband is a Marvel fan, so we enjoy all the movies together. Yeah, Gemini, yeah, that's the thing. It's literally for everyone now. It's literally for everyone. Laura B says, I just finished watching Captain Marvel. Did you like it, Laura B? Darby says it was 18 minutes. Not, Darby, I always feel like B&B is like maybe 14 minutes though, or 15 minutes the most. But you're right. Well, Darby, where did you watch it at? I think, tell you too, Darby, you might actually be right about that. It may actually just be 18 minutes. And I'm not gonna lie, it kind of sucks. It's kind of sucks watching it live. Watching Bold and the Beautiful live sucks like there's no tomorrow. Because it's only 18 minutes long, and you're literally sitting there dealing with 12 minutes of commercials. RB says, yes, I did. I'm gonna watch. Okay, cool. I'm glad you enjoyed it. As only says, I was still wondering about the Woman King. I hope I didn't waste my money. Eyes only, is that on Netflix? Because I could have swore that was on Netflix. Tamara's in the chat. What's good, Tamara? Jay Blue says, I like Captain Marvel movie. I really need to catch up with the other movies. You're enjoying. You're enjoying Jay Blue. How are you doing tonight, Laura B? I mean Tamara. Jimena says I have to watch B&B about Taylor and talking I can't deal. Darby says why aren't they today because of chores. I like that last day. I like that. I mean, the thing was, it wasn't even really like a choice. That's why even Sheila wasn't mad at him. Tamara said, I watched B&B today. It was interesting. It was. It was, Tamara. It was. I could have did without the Steffi and Finn stuff. Um, in the beginning of in the beginning of the episode, I could have totally did without that. Laura B says, even if I don't know Deacon, I get that he loves his daughter. Gemini says, Jeremy acting today on Y&R was those words she. You didn't like his acting today, Gemini? Eyes only says, I hope Finn listens to Lee. And here's the thing. Well, if you don't know it, I'm not going to sit there and spoil this. Never mind. I take that back. Shana says Deacon erased that footage when Steffi said she saw Sheila. Yeah, they had his ass dead to rights. Darby says last, where is our third musketeer? Mel, I miss her. Yeah, I haven't. She's usually here, but I guess she'll be here next week though. She was here yesterday. Exactly, Gemini. And she's not. You know what, Gemini? I think we both know why she's not dying. So I'm not gonna say why, but we know. So yeah, we all know why. Actually, take down this poll. Yeah, that's one. That's one word for it, Shauna. Okay, was days good? So 66% said yes, 33% said no. Tamara said Rich got a haircut on the way to Eric's house. He did something. He did something. But I will sit there and say B&B had a really good cliffhanger. Like you can say what you want about B&B because trust me, I've said plenty, but um B&B did actually have a really good cliffhanger. Now, Mr. Bear has a good question. How did they get a photo of Sheila that they showed to Deacon in his flashback? It's a damn good question. Gemini says Sheila is also a clock. She just keeps on ticking. Yeah, yeah, Tamara, they actually had a really good cliffhanger. I gotta give both. I gotta give both that credit. Hell, I mean, even YNR's so-called cliffhanger was like lackluster at best. It was definitely lackluster. Oh, they're gonna sit there and tell the events that happen off screen. Oh, the ambulance wound up getting into a car accident. It crashed, and people were just kind of gasping, and it's like so because they couldn't talk about it. I mean, because they couldn't show it because of budget, they talked about it. Like, no. Jay Blue says, "All right, the storm winds are picking up." I think he may actually be where Monique is at, because Monique was sitting there talking about that as well before she left. Darby says, "Wait, lads, do you find it too quiet here without her insane, wacky self?" Who are you talking about, Darby? No, I'm generally want to know who you're talking about, Darby. China says, "I bet Sheila escapes the hospital." I feel like if that's the time she's going to escape, it's definitely going to be the hospital. I have no doubt that she's not going to jail. She's just not going to go to jail. Which there are reasons why she's not going to go to jail, but she's not going to go to jail. Jay Blue says, "Yes, we were in the same." Oh, okay. Well, definitely stay safe then, Jay Blue. Jimina says she will definitely escape. Yeah. RB says, "Does she actually have 9 toes?" Oh, Lord, because she cut off one of her toes. She cut off one of her toes um, when she was trying to escape the first time. When she was trying to escape the first time, she wound up cutting off one of her toes. And through these elaborate schemes, it was made to believe that she died by a bear attack. So she needed to really sell it, like cutting off her damn toe. Kind of like the character in You, which uh, I still can't believe he did that. I was like, damn, Joe. I was like, bro, you're a little bit too much. No, Lobby, she really cut off her damn toe. Like, she was not joking about that. Gemini says Deacon will help her, but he can't leave because he has hope. Yeah. Lobby says Lobby said was someone the viewers didn't like. Eyes only says who Sheila, the lady from Bill Kell. Johnson says an actor being on contract doesn't always guarantee that they will stay on a show because there has been actors who have been on contract on soaps but ended up getting written off unexpectedly. Really? Can you name some, Jonathan? I'm very curious. Uh, yes, Jonathan. I mean, yes, I do. I do actually think he's a Well, it's weird, just because I wouldn't sit there and say he's a villain. I would sit there and say he's more somewhat of an anti-hero. So not a villain, but an anti-hero. Which again, just is another show I gotta watch. That is on the list. Jesus, I remember it still took me a year to watch Cobra Kai and The Boys. So I actually tell you, I'm trying to make as much of a valiant effort to make sure on Saturdays that I do not sleep, so I can sit there and watch these shows and catch up and keep up with these shows. Exactly, Mr. Bear. And that's what a lot of them were saying. But here's the thing, Mr. Bear. It's a soap opera, so it's like there's a certain level of dumbness that they kind of got to sit there and apply in order to make the show work. Dave says, sorry, I haven't been here tonight. Oh, no, it's all good, Dave. I'm just glad that, you came in when you did. Yeah, Gemini, but that's why I was sit there and say he's more of an anti hero, though. Ariana said, Joe from you is fantastic. The crap he gets thrown into is, yeah. RB says, I was skeptic. Okay. Johnson says, well, one recent example is Lindsay, aka Sarah on days she was on contract and then she left the show. That's very true. That's very true. Just say, yeah, I would say he's a villain, but he's a good villain. Hmm. I have to think about that, Jazz, because it's hard for me to sit there and say he's a villain, like he is, but I don't know. I feel like the word anti-villain just kind of serves him more better. But I think I'm gonna sit there and kind of go at this point. Um, Battery's getting kind of low, not super low, but like low enough. So I want to thank everyone for joining. I hope I get to see people in the live stream from members this weekend. Thank you, Valerie. Have a good night. Have a good night, Jess. Jimena says, going to 10. I would, but seeing how I'm only like 24%, I don't see that happening. If I was on StreamYard, I think I'll probably be able to stay a little bit later. But thank you, Gemini, for joining them. Have a good weekend, Jonathan. Thank you. Have a good night, Jess. Have a good night, Shauna, Darby, Gwen. I wish I could. Have a good night, everyone. Stay safe. Have a good night, Ariana. Have a good night, Darby. I will see you Monday. Tamara, have a good night, Tamara. Have a good night, Blackmon, Darby. Yeah, maybe. Depending on where you are, Gemini. I'm in New York, so thank you, Mr. I'm glad you had a good time. Honestly, touch you. That's literally my goal. As long as people actually have a good time in these streams, then it's all worth it. You know, it's all worth it. So I look forward to seeing everyone in the next live stream, either Monday or tomorrow. And if you're not a member, you want to join, um, then, well, in the description box, you just click on the join button and you can be a member and we'll have a lot of fun. Robbie says, let's girls. What? Oh, okay, good, Gemini, good. Okay, so yeah, we're in New York. Okay, so you know. All right, that's good. Have a good night. Last day. I will see you on Monday. Ugh. I should have probably went to StreamYard. I really should have probably went to StreamYard. All right, everyone. Stay safe. Have a great, safe weekend. Thank you for joining me as always. And have a good night, Darby. Thank you for joining. Have a good night, everyone. And I will see y'all in the next live stream.